Hey guys, what's up? Otaku Mike here doing sort of a discussional video today. Um, I want to talk about, 'cause these thoughts are going through my head. I want to talk about losing your collection. Either through a natural disaster, um, through having to sell it, being forced to sell it, people stealing your collection, stuff like that. How that can affect you going forward as a collector of manga or anime or whatever in general. How does that affect you emotionally, um, sometimes physically, um, and stuff like that. What could you possibly go through when losing your collection? Because we as collectors, a lot of people feel this way, have a big emotional or sentimental attachment to their collections. It's true. It's true. I do. I have an attachment to my collection. Yeah, yes, I have sold things off here and there, but I only sell things off that I don't really have an attachment to. Um, so, quick little story time. Um, Years ago, I sold off my anime and manga collection. Not manga collections, comic book collections. I started to collect manga at this time. I believe I only had like some volumes of like Monster Musume at the time. I was in a very, very horrible relationship. Um, I've talked a little bit about this. I made some very bad financial decisions, which still affect me to this day. I was naive. I trusted people. I trusted people, and I was with somebody, and they basically like Jedi mind tricked me into selling my stuff because saying that we need to provide for I was going to have a daughter at the time. um, I, I was going to be a father, and basically saying like you need to get rid of these childish things. So I fought for my collection. I didn't want to sell it whatsoever. So yeah, I didn't want to sell it whatsoever. My collection was mine. Um, I worked hard on building my collection up. It was a long process of finding these things that I basically curated myself and found, and the effect it had on me. I had long boxes. I had an entire shelf of anime. Um, I built this collection up, and um, having to sell it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Um, I probably had about like 6 long boxes. I had a full shelf of anime. What you see above me, this shelf, basically, um, most of that what was left of my original collection. Um, I gave up everything to try to start and be with this person who I thought was right for me but wasn't. And the effect that giving up and selling my collection or being forced to sell my collection was it was hard. I went into a very, very deep depression. I started to drink. Um, I didn't care about much because I had such an attachment to these things. I thought honestly that I would never see these things ever again, because some of them were rare at the time, some of them were going out of print, um, and stuff like that. And I built this thing up, and I had such a emotional attachment and sentimental attachment to this stuff. It was it was hard. It was hard. And I still remember to this day the person telling me, um, you need to grow up. You need to stop with these childish things. You know, stop collecting comic books and cartoons. And I was like, well, it's my hobby. And um, they were like, you're becoming a parent. You do not need to have hobbies anymore. Your hobby is now being a parent. Um, I remember that to this day, and it still sticks with me. You know, you shouldn't have to give up yourself to be in a relationship and your hobbies. People should like you for who you are. And yeah, so I fell into a deep, deep depression. Eventually, I got out of this relationship, and I moved on. And I slowly but surely built up my collection. You know, I always felt envious that, you know, of my friends who had a bigger collection than me, because I had to give away, I had to sell my stuff, and I was always very envious of, you know, being in such a situation of losing my collection. I was envious of their collection and how it made me feel. But eventually, you know, I got out of it. You know, I've known other people who have had to do the same thing that I have done throughout the years. And, you know, it's hard, one, going through it alone and going through the effects it can have on you from losing your collection if you have an attachment to it. And, you know, some people don't. Some people are like, oh, I'll just get rid of it and get something else. You know, that's how people are. You know, or you can't get rid of stuff. You know, which makes people think that you're a hoarder, which is a whole other story. And, you know, topic to talk about. You know, is collecting hoarding. You know, stuff like that. But, you know, we love what we love, and, you know, as collectors, we'll collect it. And you know, this might sound silly, but I had to talk to people. I had to go talk to a therapist about it. And, you know, it had that much of an effect on my life, and honestly, to an extent, still does to this day. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. You know, I just wanted to get these thoughts out of my head, you know, because I've known people who have lost their collections. I did myself. And, you know, people have always said, oh, I'll never give up my collection. I'll never sell my collection. Never say never, honestly. I said the same thing. And, you know, it happened to me. I lost it. But eventually I rebuilt it. And, you know, let me know in the comments section, you know, how you feel about this. How you would feel if you lost your collection, or if you have lost your collection. And what effect it's had on you. And, you know, how you've dealt with it. You know, just let me know, because I'm just throwing these thoughts out there and just making a video and see if it, you know, it gets people talking. You know, maybe this video will help somebody else who needs it, who is going through similar things that I've had to go through. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Otaku Mike. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. See ya.